Hey, all my foodie family. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to make a classic French style chicken chaussure. It's basically braised chicken with vegetables and a delicious gravy. So we're going to start off with a Dutch oven and we're going to put in about 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm using olive oil, but you can use whatever you like. I tend to like non-saturated fats, so I use olive oil or canola oil, something like that. But you do whatever you like. I'm using 2 chicken legs here that I've sprinkled with some garlic powder and paprika. And I'm putting them in the stock pot in the oil. And I'm going to brown this chicken. I've used bone-in, skin-on chicken because I want the flavor for this. You could use chicken thighs, you could use chicken breast, you can use whatever part you like, but make sure it's bone-in with skin on because you want the flavor for this. It's going to be braising for some time and you want all that flavor to infuse the gravy. I'm seasoning this side with some salt and pepper. I tend to season as I add layers to my dish. That way nothing tastes bland. As you know, nothing worse than bland food. And on this side, I'm adding some garlic powder as well. This is actually granulated garlic because as it cooks, it soaks up some of the juices and it gets big like regular garlic. It's good. And I'm using some paprika. You could use smoked paprika if you like in this. You could also use hot paprika if you want it spicier. Do whatever you like. There's no rules. Not in my cooking anyways. I'm covering that so that I can get a nice brown crust on that one side of the chicken legs. About 5 minutes later, you should be able to turn them over and see a beautifully browned chicken. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? Man, absolutely smells divine. Cover it again and cook for another 5 minutes on the other side to brown it up nice as well. After the chicken is browned, we want to remove it from the Dutch oven and set it aside. This chicken is not fully cooked at this point, so just be aware. Don't go cutting into it now and taking a piece. It'll be raw in the middle. I'm bringing the oil back up to temperature at this point. You've also got the fond from the chicken. That's all the juices that are, crusted onto the bottom of the pan. You want to be able to pull those up. I'm adding 2 sliced onions and 2 sliced stalks of celery and 2 sliced carrots. I've cut them about a 1/2 inch. You don't want them too thin because you don't want them to disintegrate into the sauce as it simmers. This is a braising dish, so you need to make the vegetables hearty enough so that they'll withstand the cooking. Now that everything's simmering away, I'm adding some salt and pepper to season. Remember, season by layer. Give it a swirl around. You'll see the onions start to get translucent. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of garlic. Yep, it's lots, but it's good. Now, as is usual the case for me, I am searching for chicken stock. For some reason, I have a real phobia about getting that ready in advance of doing a recipe for you. But I'll find it eventually. My stomach is actually growling just watching this because that chicken with this sauce and the veggies was so yummy. You really need to try it. I think I found the chicken stock. I came back and remembered that this was sizzling. I'm adding a bit more oil at this point because I want to have about 2 tablespoons of oil in the bottom. I'm going to be making a roux, and you need to have an equal amount of fat and flour for a roux to cook properly. So with 2 tablespoons of oil, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of flour. It's always in equal parts. You need to stir the flour around so that the oil absorbs it, and then you need to cook out the flour so that it doesn't taste raw when you're making your sauce. It's going to start coating the veggies. You're going to get kind of a layer of cooked flour on the bottom of the pan. It's all okay, just don't let it get brown and burnt. You can see it's sizzling a bit on the bottom, which means that the flour is getting cooked out. It's all good. Here's my chicken stock. I found it. I'm adding 2 cups to start with, but you can adjust this depending on the size of the pot and the amount that you're making. This recipe is expandable to as many pieces of chicken as you need to make for your family. This is for myself, so 2 is good. If you and your partner are making it, 2 is good. If you got a family and a couple of kids, you might want to put 4 in there. It's all expandable. Just adjust the amount of veggies you have and maybe make the sauce bigger. But I've added the chicken stock, and I'm going to bring that up to a boil and let it thicken. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. This is where you get a flavor of wine, but not the sharpness of vinegar, because it's going to cook out over about 45 minutes or so. But you end up with this delicious kind of background taste of wine that you would just wonder, what is that? Because I didn't put any wine in there. That's what it is. I'm adding the chicken pieces back to the gravy mix, along with any juices that may have accumulated in the plate. Remember, this chicken is not cooked through yet. So you're going to need about 45 minutes or so to let everything cook and thicken and get the vegetables a bit soft. And you're going to have a delicious dinner. So here it is finished. Doesn't it look good? Why don't you come over and have some chicken show serve with me? I'm going to make some rice to go with this. You could also have pasta. You could also make mashed potatoes. It's all good, whatever you prefer. If you like the recipe, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel. Thanks for stopping by today for some more food that warms your soul. See you next time.